General Hospital spoilers and rumors tease Drew Quartermaine, Cameron Matheson, could be a victim of deadly deja vu. Will Ava Jerome, Maura West, run him down? Viewers will remember when Drew first came to town, after he and Robin Scorpio Drake, Kimberly McCullough, escaped Cassadine Island. And he was run over by Ava Robin, and everyone else, including Drew, thought he was Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, because at the time, no one thought Jason had a twin. Robin was trying to free Jason from the Cassadines, where he'd been in a cryogenic state, and he made it to Port Charles, but was run over by Ava. She was running from sunny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, and Drew was in the wrong place at the wrong time and got amnesia. To make a long story short, Drew got amnesia, but because his and Jason's memories were switched in a bizarre experiment, the last of 3 pairs over the years. So Jake Doe was thought to be Jason and he got Jason's memories, until a few years later when the real Jason was discovered by Ava, ironically, and showed up in Port Charles. Ava had nothing to do with Drew's later disappearance, although she seems to be a common thread of trouble, that is. Fast forward to 2025, and Drew is nothing like he originally seemed when he first came to town, and eventually learned who he was. Something has changed, and he's become someone pretty everyone hates. Before he was rescued from Cassadine Island by Jason at that he'd have never done things like start affairs with married women. He's made enemies of everyone from his former best friend Curtis Ashford, Donald Turner, and the rest of the Quartermaines for sleeping with Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, wife. As for Ava, in a recent weekly sneak peek preview, she meets with Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, and Portia Robinson, Brooke Care, stressing the importance of taking Drew down. Also in the weekly sneak peek, 2 cars on the road get into a possibly deadly crash plotted by Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, who is one of the drivers. In the other car, Rick Lansing, Rick Hurst, and it could be Ava. Christina had tampered with the car, possibly cutting the brake lines, with Ava her intended victim. Although this time it's a little bit different of a situation. Could Drew experience deadly deja vu, again being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and be a victim of the crash between Christina and the car Rick is driving? Or is someone else in the car with Rick and Ava run Drew over at a different time? Christina will regret her decision, but who does she wind up possibly killing? Be sure to catch up on everything happening with GH right now. Come back here often for General Hospital spoilers, news and updates. Port Charles has seen its fair share of shocking tragedies, but what's about to unfold could be one of the most twisted turns yet. Drew Cameron Matheson, is no stranger to danger, but this time, fate might be serving him a deadly dose of deja vu. With Ava Jerome, Maura West, spiraling under pressure, and a dangerous game of cat and mouse playing out in the dark streets of Port Charles, could history repeat itself, except with Drew as the one left fighting for his life? Drew has been through hell and back, but one of the most haunting moments in his past remains the accident that nearly cost him his life. Years ago, Drew was presumed dead when his plane went down, a tragedy orchestrated by those who sought to use and discard him like a pawn. But he survived, and now, just when it seems like he might finally be getting his life together, another near-fatal encounter looms. This time, it's not a plane crash, but something much more personal. A car barreling toward him at full speed, with someone he never expected behind the wheel. Ava has been under immense pressure lately, caught between the wrath of sunny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, the ever-watchful eyes of the FBI, and the mess she's created with her dangerous alliances. She's always been a woman who operates in shades of gray. But lately, those shades have turned pitch black. Her every move is being watched, and one wrong step could land her in a place she vowed she'd never return to, prison. The problem is, Ava doesn't handle pressure well. When she's cornered, she either fights her way out or makes reckless choices. And now, with tensions boiling over and her judgment clouded by fear and desperation, she's about to make the worst mistake of her life. According to sources, the scene unfolds on a rainy Port Charles night, setting the perfect stage for a fatal accident. Drew, unaware of the storm brewing around him, is walking toward his car when headlights suddenly flood the street. Ava, behind the wheel of her own vehicle, is a woman unraveling. Maybe she's running from someone. Maybe she's just made another dangerous move she can't take back. Whatever the reason, she's distracted. Her pulse is racing, her mind is foggy, and she doesn't see Drew stepping into the road. It happens in seconds. The screech of tires, the desperate attempt to slam the brakes. A sickening thud. And then silence. As Ava stares in horror, the reality of what she's done hits her like a freight train. Drew lies motionless, blood pooling beneath him, the rain quickly washing it into the cracks of the pavement. A familiar sense of déjà vu grips Port Charles, especially for those who remember when Drew was last left for dead. The question is, did Ava just kill him? Ava's instinct will likely be to flee. That's who she is, a survivor who does whatever it takes to stay ahead of the consequences. But running from this, that might not be so easy. The problem is, Ava isn't the only one with something to lose. If Drew survives, will he even remember what happened? Or will someone else take the fall for Ava's reckless actions? With Sonny already on edge and law enforcement breathing down his neck, this accident could have a ripple effect nobody saw coming. If Sonny finds out Ava was behind the wheel, he might not care if it was an accident. And if Jagger Cates, Adam Harrington, gets wind of it, he might use it as leverage to trap both Ava and Sonny in his ever-tightening grip. When the news spreads, reactions will be swift and emotional. Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, will be devastated, especially given her recent reconnection with Drew. She's already lost Jason Morgan, Steve Burton. Before, can she survive losing another man she cares about? Meanwhile, Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, will have mixed emotions. While she and Drew have never been close, she knows that Ava being involved in something like this could spell disaster for her as well. If Sonny turns on Ava, it could drive an even bigger wedge between them, and Nina's already hanging on by a thread. And then there's Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco, who has been trying to figure out where she stands with Drew since his return. She's already lost him once. Will this be the final chapter of their connection? Just when everyone thinks they know what happened, a shocking twist might turn everything upside down. What if Ava wasn't alone in the car? What if someone else was manipulating the situation, ensuring that Drew was taken out of the equation for good? Ava could very well be a pawn in someone else's game, a game where Drew was always meant to be the target. If that's the case, then Ava might not be the villain in this story. She might just be the next victim. The coming weeks in Port Charles will be filled with secrets, cover-ups, and shocking revelations. Will Ava confess to what she's done, or will someone else take the fall? Will Drew survive, and if he does, will he remember who hit him? And most importantly, was this truly an accident, or was someone else pulling the strings all along? One thing is for sure, Port Charles will never be the same after this night.